Welcome back. It is 4:43 here. While our weather stays quiet, Milton still causing some impacts in Florida this morning. It made landfall yesterday evening as a Category 3 storm. This was our 5th hurricane to make landfall this season. All 5 hurricanes this season have made landfall on the Gulf Coast. This is significant because 2024 is now on up there with some of our more infamous hurricane seasons. We've had 5 Gulf hurricane strikes. That now ties 2020 and 2005 for the most Gulf hurricane strikes, or at least second place. But the number one, back in 1886, there was 6 hurricanes that made landfall along the Gulf Coast region. And so we hope we don't get to that number this year. Remember, hurricane season doesn't officially end until the end of November, but yes, it has been a wild season, especially here on the Gulf Coast. It has been a wild past. Well, go back to 2017 when things really started to ramp up. Almost every single square inch of the western side of Florida has been impacted by a major hurricane. Milton, I've now added this number you can see there, and they had Ian 2022. We've had our 2 major hurricanes, Ida and Zeta, and then Laura over in parts of the western part of our state. Now, these are just Category 3 and higher. There have been many other Category 1s and Category 2s. We need about 20 years of no hurricanes on the Gulf Coast. After a big stretch and not a whole lot going on, the past 8 years or so have just been wild. Now, here's what's left of Hurricane Milton. It is still a Category 1, just positioned off the east coast of Florida, right near Cape Canaveral. Still getting some wraparound rain and winds there across parts of Orlando and the western parts or eastern parts of Florida. You can see there the hurricane force winds are now offshore, but still some damaging wind gusts wrapping around Daytona Beach and towards Orlando. Tropical storm conditions now exiting the eastern side of Florida, and Milton will continue to move out to sea, transition. It's getting shredded and eaten up by those upper level winds. It'll be south of Bermuda by this weekend, producing some rain and wind, but nothing major anymore. Live view from us for View Orleans over New Orleans. Looking pretty good here. We've been talking about, you almost feel guilty talking about how nice our weather has been, and in fact it's going to get nicer next week if you're looking for some cooler air. I have our first real cold front of the season coming in. Now, don't get out the parkas yet if you own a parka, and don't get out your heavy sweaters just yet. Now, we do have some cooler temps on the way. We're going to be warm though through Sunday. This weekend, beautiful. Shorts and t-shirt weather though still. We're in the 80s. Look at Monday. We briefly spike. Ahead of a cold front this time of year, usually will quickly increase about 90 degrees. So it will be hot that day, but then Tuesday and look at Wednesday, a high of 72. It has been a long time. You probably have to go back to April before you start to get highs back into the 70s thanks to cold fronts. Next Wednesday morning will be our coolest morning of the season, and I do think we're going to see some upper 40s work towards the North Shore here. This is chilly for our standards, and look at this. I think we may even touch 59 degrees in New Orleans. It's been a long, long time coming. It's always, as we get towards the end of summer and you get into October and you're just being teased by those cold fronts, we finally get a dose of cooler air next week where it actually will feel chilly, and then, you know, the afternoons will warm back up. So our 7-day forecast, it is warm and sunny all the way through Sunday. The weekend is beautiful. We've got so many festivals going on. We've got Cruising the Coast over on South Mississippi. No bad weather for any of that. I hope you can get outside and just have a good weekend here. Monday, it's going to be a hot one, a high of 89 degrees, maybe slightly more humid as well ahead of that front. Don't think we're going to see much in the way of rain here with this cold front. So we'll keep us mostly sunny on Tuesday and dry. And then there you have it. Next Wednesday, flirting with the upper 40s on the North Shore, flirting with the upper 50s here on the South Shore. Brandon.